Hi students, in this video we're going to cover trigonometric identities. So we're going to learn the fundamental trig identities, learn the Pythagorean trigonometric identities, and use these identities to verify trigonometric identities. All right, so first, so we've been doing everything on the unit circle. We can extend our knowledge of trig functions beyond the unit circle because of similar triangles. We won't get into that in this class. So there are 6 trig functions. We already know sine, cosine, and tangent. Each one of those trig functions has a reciprocal trig function. So now we know sine is, if we go back to geometry, we know that sine is the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. Now, basing this on a circle of any radius, we're going to, instead of using opposite adjacent hypotenuse, we're going to use x, y, and r for the radius. So x is going to be the horizontal distance we travel to get to a point. Y is going to be the vertical distance we travel to get to a point. And so now sine is going to be the ratio of y to r. We know cosine is going to be the ratio of x to r. Tangent is going to be the ratio of y to x. And now for the reciprocals of each one of these trig functions, we have cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So we get r divided by y. Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So we get r divided by x. And cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent, and we get x divided by y. It's color coded for you, so hopefully that is helpful. The first thing that we are given is these reciprocal identities. So we talked about this on the other slide where we have those 6 trig functions laid out in terms of a right triangle, but already given the values, sine is going to be 1 over cosecant, cosine is 1 over secant, tangent is 1 divided by cotangent, cosecant is 1 divided by sine, secant is 1 divided by cosine, and cotangent is 1 divided by tangent. And so now we're given that sine theta is 3/5 and cosine theta is 4/5, and we want to find the other 4 trigonometric functions. So let's see, we can do cosecant theta is going to equal 1 over sine theta, so 1 divided by 3/5, which is just 5/3. We're going to have secant theta is 1 divided by 4/5, and that's going to equal 5/4. And then tangent theta. So remember, tangent is just the sine of an angle divided by the cosine. So tangent theta is going to be 3/5 divided by 4/5, which we know we can do the whole keep, change, flip thing. I'm just going to tell you that that is 3/4, not 3/5. It's just 3/4 instead. And so cotangent theta is going to be the reciprocal of that, or we can just say it is cosine divided by, that should be 4/5 divided by 3/5. All right, so that is 4/5 divided by 3/5, which is 4/3. So those are the other 4 trigonometric values using the reciprocal identities. The other thing that could happen is that we could be given a point and we need to find all 6 trig functions. So this is similar to what we did in the previous lesson. So first we're going to make ourselves a right triangle with the horizontal axis. So the distance that we travel horizontally is -4. The distance that we travel vertically is -3. So if we do the Pythagorean theorem, we're going to get this value of 5. So now if this is our angle theta using a reference angle, remember reference angle is going to give us the same trig values up to a positive or a negative. So we're going to have the sine of theta is Opposite, well, is going to be the y divided by the radius. So the radius is 5. This is our r value. This is our y value, and this is our x value. So sine theta is going to be y over r. So y divided by r is -3 divided by 5. Cosine theta is going to be x divided by r, which is going to be -4 over 5. Tangent theta is going to be y divided by x, which is -3 divided by -4, which of course is +3/4. And then cosecant theta is the reciprocal of sine. So we're going to get -5 divided by 3. Secant theta is going to be the reciprocal of cosine. So that's going to give us -5 divided by 4. Negative always goes in the numerator or before the fraction. And so then cotangent theta is going to be x over y, which is going to be 4/3. All right. So that is how we do this if we're given a point or if we were given a right triangle. So now the reciprocal trig values of any angle. So now this is going to require that you know the unit circle. And so the secant of 60 degrees. So secant is in quadrant 1. Let's go through some knowledge here. So the cosine of 60 degrees is equal to 1/2. And so since secant is the reciprocal, this is going to imply the secant of 60 degrees is the reciprocal, which is 2 divided by 1, which of course is just 2. Cosecant 7/4. 7/4 is in quadrant 4. So we know sine is going to be negative. This has a reference angle of pi/4. So this is going to be the same as, negative cosecant pi/4. And so as long as we can find the sine value for pi/4, we know the cosecant value. So the sine of pi/4, which is 45 degrees, is the square root of 2 divided by 2. And so since cosecant is negative in quadrant 4, we know the cosecant of 7 pi divided by 4 is -2 divided by the square root of 2. Now the square root of 2 is just the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. So when we divide by the square root of 2, I forgot my negative. One of these square roots of 2 cancel, so we just get negative square root 2. And finally, we have cotangent 3. That is just going to equal 1 divided by the tangent of 3. Make sure your calculator is in radian mode. Let me see if my calculator is in radian mode. It is. And so 1 divided by the tangent of 3, I get -7.02. -7.02. That is the cotangent. All right. So that's a quick video over us using some reciprocal identities. We're going to separate this section into 2 videos, one where we do some numerical work. The rest of this is going to be verifying identities. So I will see you all in the next video.